So in this tutorial, we'll just take what we've learned in the past about like adjusting, changing an analog input, and now we'll have it influence an analog output, in this case an LED. We'll just combine these pieces of puzzle together. So I will have my, I'll create this analog output here on an LED on pin number 9. It has to be one of the analog pins. This is a schematic here of how you will want to wire this LED to pin number 9. You need to add a little resistor to prevent it from being damaged, and then you will wire your potentiometer by putting one leg on the plus, one leg on the minus, and sort of the middle leg into the analog input pin on your Arduino board. And once again, we'll just simply take that potentiometer and send that value directly to the LED. So, so by doing this, you'll be able to control you should see the intensity of the LED changing as you turn the dial. So from 0 or from 0 to 100%. It's possible, depending on the potentiometer that you have, that you couldn't go down completely to 0 or up completely to 1. You should still be able to see some kind of a variation. Now, another interesting thing that we can do here is perhaps using the potentiometer to, instead of controlling directly the LED, to use one of our oscillators, just control a little bit more what's going on with the frequency induced into the LED. So, for example, I could use a sine oscillator here with a default period of 1.0, but anyway, I'm going to change that. And what I'm going to do here is, in the step function, I will use that value of the potentiometer that goes between 0 and 1 to change the let's say the frequency of the oscillator. So I will say oscillator.frequency. So at each step, I will slightly change that frequency to a value. Now, I don't want to use directly, I don't want to use directly the potentiometer value. I mean, you can try this and you can see for yourself, but the problem here is that we'll have some kind of a problem of range. So the maximum, so at 1, the frequency will be once per second. So it's going to be like a period of 1. As I go low, it will just start going slower and slower, because it's going to be like if the frequency is lower, it means that the period becomes longer. So maybe I'll want to just sort of like remap that value into something a bit more sort of within some interesting ranges. So let's say I want to, when the potentiometer is at 0, I would like the frequency to be at, I don't know, I'd like the frequency to be 5 times per second, and then, let's say 2 times per second. And then when it's full, I'd like it to be 10 times per second. So it's going to go faster. So what I can do here is that I can use a function called a mapping function, and I'll say map from 0, 1. So this function will take a value that's between 0 and 1 and change it into another range. So I map from 0, 1 with my potentiometer value. That one is always between 0 and 1. And I'll remap it to 2 and 10. So we go from a range of 0 to 1, and we sort of change that range into a new range of 2 to 10. So if it's 1, If the potentiometer becomes 1, this map from 0, 1 function will return 10. If my potentiometer is at 0, this map from 0, 1 will return 2. And you can try it by running this example, and you'll see that now by changing the potentiometer, it will like go into sort of more interesting values. You can absolutely try to change these settings a little bit just to see how to find something that you think it's interesting and comfortable.